light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick. Call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky. Make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip. Look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid. Yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up. Shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up. Shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for another Shoe Shine boxing episode of the Shoe Shine. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish, Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie?
Yeah.
Oh man, you got is that diet though?
Nah, it's Pepsi.
It's the real deal? The corn syrup one?
Yeah.
The doctor say stop drinking that?
No.
No, he didn't say that, dude. Shout out to 702 Man Cave. Hey, if you want to join us in a little bit, let me know. I'll send you the link, but it's the same link as always. Shout out to Vince, of course. We'll be doing a show tomorrow. Shout out to Drew. I know you're really tired, man. Give us an update, Drew, because we haven't been on live on a Monday, but it's been crazy because for me, it's spring in Las Vegas. It's actually been kind of warming up, but for you on the East Coast, it's been like, what, storm after storm?
I've been in hell.
He's been in hell, bro, working. Is it still cold, man? Are you guys still cleaning? Is it another snowstorm this weekend or what? Ice?
I think we're done.
I hope so. I hope so, bro. Okay, finally. So you guys are getting a warm up, and we'll get back to some regular scheduled content. Drew, it was kind of a fun weekend for boxing fans, and of course, this weekend we have the return of Jai Opetaia for Zuffa number 4. Just a week ago, we got a chance to interview a young Zuffa fighter who was on was on Top Rank before. I encourage you guys to go watch that. What's it like fighting for Zuffa? Go check out the interview from last week. And of course, thank you to everybody that watched it. Shout out to everybody who's joining us. LeBron, appreciate it. Big Spooky and 702 Man Cave. Let's get this, let people know we're on the air, man. But it was a nice weekend for boxing. Drew, the city of Phoenix, the Phoenix area, I've never visited, but we've got so many friends from that area. It's like really, Drew, I'm starting to wonder if I got to do a show about it. And I'm going to propose it to see if I can get some fight fans from Philly. We know we've had a good friend of the show, Chicano Prophet, who's moved out there. And of course, so many fighters that are coming out of the Phoenix area stars, boxing stars, Jesus Ramos Jr., David Benavidez. But they drew 14,000 people with the combination of some top-ranked fighters and, of course, Eddie Hearn, who still has that promotional deal or with DAZN broadcast deal. 14,000 tickets sold. Drew, I know you've never been to Vegas, but I got to ask those people who have come to Vegas regularly for fights or live here like me, who's a Vegas local now. Is Phoenix a better fight town than Las Vegas? What Las Vegas was known as the fight capital of the world? What's happening? Are we losing our luster? Do people in Phoenix just love fighting boxing more than, I don't know, Vegas folks? What's your thoughts on that, Drew? Do you have any opinion on it?
I can't even think. I don't know. It's like Phoenix is more like, oh, I go here. I don't have to worry about having to gamble or anything. Just go to a fight, enjoy myself, maybe go to a bar or something. Like shit like that. But like Vegas is the whole nine and everything that you go into afterwards. Like you're going to spend money there. If you're a guy that's cheap and start balling on a budget, you probably would like Phoenix more.
Well, 702 Man Cave says, hell no. But see, here's the thing is actually, I had a conversation with Vince who got a chance to see the Ryan Garcia fight in person at the last minute just a couple weeks ago. And Vince told me himself that a lot of the folks who attended the fight didn't show up until the main event. And that's kind of typical. That's super fights in Las Vegas, Drew. It's not uncommon for people dressed up to the nines, dresses, suits, looking fly, trying to look their best just to show up to the main event. But you know, I imagine in towns like Philadelphia, now you got Boots Ennis selling out 17,000 seats. Towns like Atlantic City, but more so like non-casino towns. I'm going to say Philadelphia, New York City. I think people show up to see the whole fight. They show up to see the card.
I gotta disagree with you on the. They are casinos in Philadelphia now.
Oh, shoot.
They've been casinos for the past 10 years now. 10 to 15 years now in Philadelphia.
So, I mean, Phoenix has their share of Native American Indian casinos too, but it just feels like it. I guess I got to experience it at some point. We're going to have to take the drive over there and experience a super fight. It is now the home of a lot of Mexican fighters, like kind of their hometown, and Navarete did not disappoint. Let me just start off the show with that because for a long time, El Vaquero Navarete, who has had a phenomenal career, even attempting to go up to 135 and suffering a kind of embarrassing loss at 135, comes back. They allowed him to retain his title. He now unifies against Eddie Hearn's top Mexican fighter in Nunez. An amazing display, Drew. I could not believe how in shape Navarete was. And for me to say Navarete was in shape, actually, let's look at the shape. This is Nunez's figure. Of course, Navarete, a taller, lankier fighter, but he hired a nutritionist for this camp. Dude, his punching was nonstop. It was just a incredible assault on Nunez, man. And he unifies these two titles. Did you get to see most of the card, at least the co-main and the main event?
I saw the main event, Navarrete and Nunez. Well, it was one-sided to me. The whole fight was one-sided. Navarrete dominated the fight. But, like, the one thing I want, like, I haven't been on and everything, and I just got to say this, right? And I got to say this. Ryan Garcia is only the WBC champion because how corrupt the WBC is, that Oscar threw them some extra money. And I have the right to fucking say it, too. Threw extra money to get Ryan Garcia booked up the rankings after losing a one-sided fight to Rolly Romero, knowing that Mario Barrios is the easiest champion in the division and shouldn't have been a champion. He is Space Mountain of 147. Woo! And fucking, if we look at it, it was a one-sided fight that was boring as shit. I don't care what anybody says. The WBC is the most corrupted sanctioning body, and I gotta say this right now, and people can disagree with me and everything right now, man. Zuffa Boxing is around to basically eliminate the sanctioning bodies, and they are going to succeed with the bullshit the WBC puts on and the other sanctioning bodies. Like, here's the thing. My favorite sanctioning body is the WBO. Out of all four of them, they are the most legit out of the most awful four of them.
You think they're the most prestigious and legit?
Yeah. But if we look at it like this, like, if we throw it up like this, how do we move a guy to get a title shot for losing a one-sided fight? And then you put him out, and then now you're going to sanction a fight. And here's the thing. I'm a big Alexander Usyk fan, but you're going to sanction a fight with him fighting a kickboxer?
Oh,
and the belt might be on the line?
I got to talk to you about that. Drew. First, let me show that picture. The picture above you, Drew, right now, if you didn't know, Mauricio Suleiman was in spring training today. The Arizona Diamondbacks called him up and asked him. Like I said, a lot of boxing stars have been in the Phoenix area. Here he is with the WBC belt, throwing the first pitch for the Arizona Diamondbacks versus Mexico. World Baseball Classic is about to start, is upon us, and Mauricio was... it looks like he has some pretty good delivery. I wonder if he made it to the home base. But one of your favorites, or not so favorites, Mauricio Suleiman throws out the first pitch. Drew, you're still mad about that, huh?
I'm not a fan. It's something that's killing box. The sport's dead. I'm going to put it like this. This sport is fucking dead. And they're one of the main reasons why they're dead. It's dead. With all this corruption and everything, then you're doing this all for money. You're trying to get any way how to make money. Shakur wasn't even fighting for one of your belts and everything. He was your champion at 135, but he moved up to 140 to challenge for another sanctioning body title. And you say you stripped him because he didn't give you $100K to fight. You're not even involved in this. And you want money? No, that's not how it works. You are supposed. He only gives you money to fight when your belt's on the line. That's how the fuck it's supposed to be. You try to rob somebody and say, no, you know what? Take your fucking belt. And then Terrence Crawford, you want to charge him $300K when he made over almost $100 million less than fucking Canelo Alvarez, and you want to charge him the same amount as Canelo for a sanctioning fee, and then try to erase him from the record? No, he won your belt, and he chose to say "fuck your belt" and throw it away. That's just what I'm talking about. And then you got the Hitchison fight, IBF, the Hitchison fight. Hitchison pulls out maybe 8 hours before the fight begins because of a sickness, because of illness and everything.
Right.
IBF
that did happen.
IBF have a same day weigh-in. You can't be 10 pounds over the rehydration clause, and you have a same day weigh-in. So he makes the same day weigh-in and everything. It probably was hard enough to make the fucking weight as it is for the real weight, and then had to do the stand on the weight, and then you feel like shit and everything. Why do we have to have same day weigh-ins? Why do we have to have a rehydration clause? And when sanctioning by not be over 10 pounds and have a fucking weigh-in after that. You make the weight. Yeah. If someone tries to go and tries to be a weight bully, that's on them. They want to take an easy way out. Let them, they're going to get the heat for being a weight bully. But when you go and then force somebody to make weight and then force them to stay within 10 pounds of that weight and have to do another weigh-in that next day, not even 8 hours away, what do you expect? I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. I think that shit's got to go. And then the WBA, how they conduct themselves. No wonder why people want to create an alternative and everything. That Turkey, let's look at it like this. Turkey Al-Sheikh played the shit out of all these promoters.
Okay.
He played the shit out of them. He got them the band together, and then he went, invested in this Zuffa boxing with TKO and Salah Promotion, where the fuck Turkey's promotion company's name is, and decided, hey, I own Ring Magazine. I own the Ring Magazine title now. That could be defended on Zuffa with the Zuffa Championship of those divisions. So now, they got the pay scale, even though the pay scale is bullshit, but they are paying bigger names, bigger purses. They go and get Conor Ben $15 million to fight Regis Prograis in his one fight deal.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong for Conor Ben.
So you overpaying Conor Ben to fight a washed out Regis Prograis, where he probably would have not even make $800K fighting him. And so let's look at it like this now. You signed Jao Katana, arguably the best cruiserweight in the world, and he still has a goal of becoming undisputed and everything, but he's on Zuffa Boxing now. You got the guy you interviewed last week in bantamweight now fighting in that weight class, and they say, you're not
Floyd Diaz. Shout out to Floyd Diaz.
You're not gonna have flashy pants or flashy trunks. You're just gonna wear out trunks and everything. Okay, but these guys, I don't want, like, you can believe it or not, Zuffa might put these other promoters out. Zuffa might put the Shakespeare bodies out of it, because here's the thing: why would I fight for them if they're gonna fuck me over? I can go sign a contract with Zuffa because they're paying me good money to people. I'm a name. They're gonna throw money at me. Let them reach out, offer me $15 million, or offer me a 3-fight deal at 40-some million. Let me fight and let me get a couple good fights in. They make money, and then the negotiation starts later on for more money. Turkey Al-Sheikh, TKO, it's our promotion, are all being sued by Frank Warner for $1 billion. For taking business, taking fighters and everything. And then you got Oscar, you got Eddie and all of them. Yeah, unfortunately, Eddie, you did all this shit for Conor Ben. You defended him. You even let him borrow money. He paid you back 2 years later and everything. You said in a video. But at the end of the day, he didn't give a fuck about loyalty to you. He didn't even give you a chance to match it, even though you probably wouldn't match it because I'm fighting Regis Prograis and everything. But Eddie, Conor Ben isn't really that good. He wasn't really going to be a star in the U.S. Conor Ben was making himself notice. Conor Ben's the guy that shows off that nobody knows about at a party. and everybody's asking, who the hell is that? Oh, that's a kid that someone brought along with him. He wouldn't have came to the party unless we brought him with him. That's what Conor Ben is. So let's look at it like this. Those promoters, the best thing they can do is band together and make the best cards possible, make the best fights possible, and stop being fucking selfish and present yourself profit to make sure this sport doesn't die. Because they are the big problem too. The promoters are the big problem.
I think they did a pretty good job this weekend. Just again, tip my hat off to Top Rank and Matchroom Boxing for working together. In the co-main, you had a Top Rank future star in Emiliano Vargas. In the main event, you had Navarete, and you had Eddie Hearn willing to sacrifice one of his top fighters in Nunez, who was beat convincingly of his title. Drew, I had that Zuffa title belt up there for a quick second, Drew, because there isn't breaking news. Here's the thing. It appears that I cannot validate this, but the IBF, okay, Dan Rafael is a reputable source, obviously. As of this morning, the IBF has not issued a statement. I'm looking for the statement because I've just seen something contrary to what Dan Rafael posted, Drew. And that's that the IBF has not released a statement on what is going to happen this weekend for Zuffa 4, the main event, the best cruiserweight, in my opinion, in the world, Jai Opetaia. They are not saying if the IBF will honor this as a title defense. I just saw something, and I can't find it again, that says that the IBF has issued a statement that he needs to decide in the next 24 hours if he would like to defend his IBF title or go for the Zuffa belt. Now, IBF is no stranger to stripping champions. They stripped Usyk. They've stripped Canelo Alvarez, and it looks like, now this is just unconfirmed, it looks like I just saw something that I can't find that says that they've issued a 24-hour notice for him to say, are you the IBF champ or do you want to vacate it and fight for Zuffa belt? That is unconfirmed, guys. What I do know is that the IBF has not yet released a statement, or they will be very shortly officially, on what they're going to do about Jai Opetaia trying to be a Zuffa boxer, maybe the first Zuffa cruiserweight champion of the world, or one of the 4 sanctioned bodies champions.
So
IBF.
what's the issue? He can't defend the belt and fight for another belt too?
Look, dude, the IBF, like I said, are the same people who have stripped Canelo Alvarez. They've stripped Usyk. The IBF, aren't they the same organization that has a 10-pound rehydration limit?
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty strict. They run by their own, the beat of their own drum. I wouldn't be surprised if they strip Jai Opetaia.
If that fighter that he's fighting is in the top 20 in the IBF, there should be no problem with him defending that, use that as an IBF title fight, but a Zuffa belt fight too. There should be no issue, and this is what I'm talking about. You guys are ruining your business because you make money off of Opetaia because he has to pay you a sectioning fee.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I would say fine, collect that 5th strap. I don't know why it's going to be an issue. I expect to find out something in the next pretty damn soon, as we're headed. Thursday will be the press conferences. Friday, the weigh-in. No, excuse me, Saturday would be the weigh-in. This fight is scheduled for Sunday, Zuffa 4, right here in Las Vegas at the Apex. Brandon Glanton, Drew, has a very limited amateur experience, what I saw. He's a heavy puncher, and he has faced some good people recently. He's had 2 decent opponents, names that you would recognize. But I'm just going to go out on a limb saying he's getting knocked out on Sunday. He is
getting knocked the fuck out, Dave. He's getting knocked out in 7 rounds. But let's put it up there like this. It's a bunch of bullshit, and this is why. And people got to look at it like this. When was the last time people were even hype about a boxing event? Like, say,
genuinely.
Generally,
It had to be. It had to be. Honestly, it had to be true. It had to be Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, the last American super fight.
So, other than that, people's vibe about the sport of boxing is it's a dead sport, and the sanctioning bodies and the promoters are the main reason why the sport is in the position it's in.
Let's ask the chat. I know the chat hasn't been moving in a while, but if you're watching this on replay, do you agree with Drew's sentiment that boxing is dead? Is it dead in the U.S.? Is it dead globally? Or is it making a comeback in 2026? Drew?
I want to say dead globally because the UK, I think it's one of its biggest sports in the UK. Second behind soccer.
Right. I agree.
What the fuck they call it. But
they call it football.
If we look at it like this, it's just so much things you could say that's damaging to the sport. That now you got, and then the fighters, some of these fighters are a fucking circus. Like Ryan Garcia, he's a circus. Devin Haney is a circus.
There's so much drama going on. There's so much drama. I don't know, Vince, if you're still here, but listen, the drama going on between Rolly Romero, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and now Emiliano Vargas jumping into the fray of a little bit of drama. I love that. I love it because Ryan Garcia and Emiliano had a little tiff on. I mean, I think it's good for the sport, Drew. People are on social media, and this is how you get attention from the younger audience to want to potentially see people fight. They want to see online beefing. They want to see that public, they enjoy it. I think you can see the engagement.
Yeah, like this. Oh, Devin Haney said I should be the A side of the Ryan Garcia rematch. No, you shouldn't. You're not a fucking draw. I'm sorry, you're not a draw. You don't draw people. You're born. You're a crybaby. Like all you fucking do is bitch and moan, and then your dad has to start his shit to keep himself relevant, and realize, hey, no one's going to give a fuck about me in a couple of days if I don't talk shit and everything. You probably put money in some of these guys' pockets so to mention your name and everything. And I'm not going to say any names because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because if I do it and they come back at me, I'm going to have to go back on and end their fucking bullshit excuse of a fucking career.
Whoa.
They having content creating, and I'm gonna film a lot. I'm gonna feel bad for 5 seconds, and I'm gonna be happy as shit. I'm probably gonna have a beer afterwards, looking at the work I've done in my life doing this to them. So, if we look at it like this, there are so many key things that ruins boxing, and I'm gonna bring up a fact. Right now. One of the biggest fights in boxing was on the odds of being signed and happening. Both guys wanted it. The other guy even tried to help the other guy get a lawyer to be able to fucking negotiate, and couldn't. And then if Las Vegas ruled in their favor because Oscar didn't have confidence in his fighter. Oscar, I want 60-40 in Vergil's favor. Knowing,
oh my goodness! You ready to talk? You ready to segue into that?
Let's segue into that. Vergil is not a bigger draw than Boots. Boots did over 15,000 people with David Azanism, whatever his name is.
Avanesian.
And Vergil with Bobacek only did 10 grand. No, 10K in Vegas.
I was at that fight, man. That was such a good fight.
Look at it like
that was such a good fight.
Oscar. I had to say something to Oscar, man. I got to say something to Oscar. Oscar, your goal was to get this kid financially stable, to make this kid the most money he could possibly make, to do what's best for his career. And what you did to his career is make sure he didn't make that bag. You fucked up his money. You fucked up this kid's money, and then because the kid wanted to go fight Boots Ennis and everything, you blocked it because you are making excuses on why the fight shouldn't happen. You try to make it enough of it so that you price yourselves out because you have no confidence in your fighter. You have no confidence in your fighter because he's one of the last stars of your stable that you don't want to cash out on because you got no money because Boots beats him. He's worthless to you, you think. You really messed up on that. You're supposed, because boxing is not a sport that you cannot last long in if you're bad at it. You make the most money as you can, you make the fights of your legacy, and you call it a day. You just ruined this kid's legacy fight. And now you wanted to cry because he found a breach and a loophole in the contract because you have no signed network deal. Technically, and then you probably paid the judge or the ruled in your favor. So you wouldn't lose Vergil Ortiz. Oh, you're gonna fight who I want you to fight. And let me guess, you want to fight Jose Ramirez and everything. In Texas.
Hey, Jose's gonna get another fight. All right, let's talk about this really quickly. This is all from BoxingScene.com because a Las Vegas federal judge, has made a ruling and a decision on this. The ruling comes 10 days after both parties appeared before Judge Silva to present final arguments to determine whether the case should head to arbitration or be dismissed outright. The February 20 hearing was crucial for Ortiz, Matchroom Boxing, and DAZN in its efforts to proceed with a desired Ortiz-Boots Ennis clash, originally targeted for this spring, Drew. And originally they wanted to have it during, I believe, wrestling weekend coming up. Really, no chance in hell. So this is what the judge said. Even so, this argument has been raised and rejected in other courts. That was the argument that Vergil Ortiz's team was making. Thus, I also grant Golden Boy's request for interim injunctive relief to allow for meaningful arbitration. So I hereby order that Ortiz may not negotiate or contract with a third party for future fights before the arbitrator addresses the parties' dispute set forth in this action. Drew, she's giving them until September to sit down with an arbitrator. I mean, a middleman, a court-appointed middleman to sit down and work out these differences. If Oscar wants to, he could say, I'll see you in September for the arbitration meeting, essentially shutting out Vergil Ortiz for fighting the entire beginning of 20. If he wants to be an asshole, he could say, you're my fighter. The judge just said it. The judge said, you don't have a ground to stand on, because he was trying to make the case saying, look, you don't have a long television deal. That means my contract is nullified. He could be an asshole and say, I'm not going to let you, we'll talk in September about your next fight.
But here's the thing. Vergil could also appeal this decision. There's a breach of contract in it. They proved it. He can get out of the case. He should be able to get out of the contract. It's in the contract. If I can't, if you're not going to honor that contract, then why the hell are we having a contract then? Vergil still has a right to appeal this decision or bump the arbitration hearing up and everything. This dude is not allowing me to make money and everything. That is another breach of contract. He's not allowing me to make the most money I could in a fight.
Drew, okay, so that's great. This was written about here in the Boxing Scene article. Ortiz's legal team filed a lawsuit earlier this year, citing breach of contract and interference with economic advantage. The contention on Ortiz's side was that the promotional contract with Golden Boy expired once the company's output deal with DAZN expired this past December 31. Section 10G of Ortiz's contract calls for termination of said agreement if Golden Boy's distribution relationship with DAZN terminates, providing in relevant part as follows. She says, where Golden Boy gained its victory is in the wording of that clause. Ortiz's team mistook the expiration of the deal rather than taking note of the specific wording, relationship, not contract. Golden Boy pointed to its two prior dates on the calendar post-contract, its January 16 show and its upcoming March 14 DAZN show from Honda Center in Anaheim. That's coming up in just 2 weekends. Basically, Golden Boy saying, look, we do have a television deal with DAZN. It's just not long-term. What's good? 1993 Cobra, appreciate you being here. So as it stands, Drew, this is going to arbitration, and they could freeze out Vergil, which sucks for Vergil. It sucks for them because, quite honestly, he's in the peak. He's in his prime of his boxing career. And we've seen other fighters get frozen out. We've seen Mikey Garcia, with his top rank issues that, kept him out of the ring for nearly 2 years, man. It sucks right now, especially now that your boss is pissed at you. You're pissed at your boss. You don't like him, and you want to do everything you can to get away from him and start new somewhere else. And I'll tell you, I bet you Dana White would love to buy out his contract. I bet Dana White would love to buy out Vergil Ortiz's contract. Great to see Mom Food. Great to see Mom Food. I appreciate Mom Food dropping by, guys. Good friend, Mom Food Planning Things right here. Great creator on YouTube. Check her out.
I think Eddie Hearn will like to buy the contract out and make the fight. But Oscar would not let him buy the contract out.
How can he? He's a star.
I don't even think he'll let Zuffa buy him out.
Nah, he wouldn't let nobody. Out of spite. Out of spite. Well, guys, I want to talk about it. Obviously, we talked about the main event. Now we have a unified champion in Navarete, the Cowboy. I love it. He's dominant. He looked dominant. He looked fantastic. But I want to talk about 3 Las Vegas-based fighters. You guys see my little thing right here? No, how do I point that? This way? I live in Las Vegas now. Drew's out in Philly. And Drew, some of you guys know that in listening, I had this last minute eye surgery on this side now. Now I've had both eyes physically repaired of cataracts. And I had an interview that was scheduled we were supposed to go back to Las Vegas Fight Club and interview Lorenzo Parra of he trains out of Las Vegas, a Venezuelan fighter Drew, he got the most surprising. First and foremost, shout out to all the 3 Las Vegas fighters that had commanding knockout performances. Lorenzo Para annihilates Elijah Pierce, ranked number 2 by the WBO. Drew, this is huge. He knocks out the number 2 ranked WBO featherweight, putting him in position to fight Rafael El Divino Espinoza of Top Rank. Unbelievable that just a few weeks back, you guys saw the interviews we did with Caipo Gallegos. Caipo Gallegos' trainer was in the corner for Lorenzo Para of Las Vegas. Like I said, devastating second round knockout, 31-year-old Venezolano. And I did not get a chance to go back with Vince and interview him. We were scheduled because of that damn surgery. And I hope to go catch him now that he's, obviously he could get this, he could get the opportunity of a lifetime. He started his career at bantamweight. Let me show you this this knockout real quick, guys. I'll put it up here from the Twitter. Of makes his home here in Las Vegas. Wow. Stunning. On the Manny Pacquiao card, Lorenzo Para Las Vegas Fight Club. Shout out to him, man. Unbelievable. He was a big-time underdog. Like I said, he stops him, knocks him out in just 2 rounds. On the same card, Las Vegas, and that's Coach Gallegos right there of Las Vegas Fight Club. Shout out to him. And Lorenzo Para, I hope to go back and interview him. Now a legit... So his situation, Drew, is he was ranked like 15 as a featherweight, and he beats the number 2 WBO. I think also ranked by the IBF, if I'm not correct, ranked number 2. Now what? Where does you go from 15 to number 2, right?
Yeah,
you would think so. You would think so. Man, I pray that he gets that opportunity of a lifetime. Floyd Mayweather prodigy Carmel Moton, on the same card, annihilates his opponent, moving on to 9 wins and 0 Drew. He's been out of the ring for quite a bit of time. The question about Carmel, man, is he could be the true protege to Floyd Mayweather, but is this going to be a frequent thing with his ring inactivity? And also, like, what weight class he's going to be at? Because he seems to have everything you need to be a star in the making. But inactivity, it's not good. Not good, man.
That's something that's gotta, you have 9 fights and you've been a pro that long. You need to have more activity. You need to fight at least at this rate 3 times a year and everything. And Floyd should bring this up to him. You got to fight. Like, Floyd needs to let his prospect fight more. Get the experience. He's not making any money.
We got some big news regarding Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, it's big Vegas news. It's is it a reflection of what's going on in the sport of boxing? Drew's argument that boxing is dead in the U.S. when I'll get to that just now. But speaking of Las Vegas fighters, perhaps one of the brightest future stars, even Eddie Hearn had very kind words, is Vince's nephew, the part of the Vargas dynasty, Emiliano Vargas. In his most difficult fight yet, was elevated to co-main, pushing out Jesus Ramos Jr.'s uncle, Abel Ramos, out of the co-main event. Nonetheless, man, it proved to be a fantastic fight in the lead up to the Emmanuel Navarete fight, the main event, Unification. You have one of Top Rank's brightest 140-pound contenders now, who was just featured in the Super Bowl with Xander Zayas, coming off named Ring Prospect of the Year. This guy told you guys that Agustin Quintana upset Mark Castro, Matchroom Boxing's Mark Castro, a top amateur star from California. They thought Mark Castro would be a world champion. He got signed for a lot of signing bonus by Matchroom Boxing's Eddie Hearn. This guy Quintana annihilated Mark Castro, so we knew that he was going to put up a damn good fight to Emiliano Vargas, but Emiliano Vargas was peppering him with body shot after body shot, something that I know Vince told me that they had been working on in camp, and it was readily available to see to everybody that the nonstop commitment to the body was working. I did get upset watching the finale of this fight, and it has nothing to do with Emmy or his team because he did his job. He did a fantastic job. I hate to see stoppages that, in my opinion, were not necessary, Drew. This fight was stopped in the final round. This guy, Quintana, had plenty. Even though his eyes were getting battered from those clean, accurate shots, he has so much to offer that Phoenix crowd, and he didn't look hurt. I mean, some people might argue he was ready to get knocked out. Well, let it happen. Let it happen. Let's see it naturally come to fruition. And because of that, Drew, not only was somebody, you could see it on the comments on YouTube. You could see it in comments on Instagram. A lot of boxing fans were upset to not let this fight play out because, quite honestly, his eyes weren't bleeding, squirting blood out. I mean, come on. You guys let Tim Tszyu fight with blood pouring down his face for the entire duration of the fight. This fight was not needed to be called off. Unlike the main event, Nunez could not see out of his eye. This fight should have continued so we could see the finality of the fight. Again, amazing performance by Emiliano Vargas. An amazing performance by the guy who came to try to win. Agustin Quintana was there to try to win. He just not as good. He's just not as good, but a lot of heart, Drew. So that being said, Ryan Garcia also commented on Twitter that he was upset that fight had ended prematurely. And Emiliano responded to him. And I don't have the exact, I'm going to have it tomorrow, guys. We're going to be doing a show from Vince's studio, Man Cave 702 Man Cave. And I'll look for the exact tweet because Emmy responded immediately to Ryan Garcia about PEDs. Whoa. Let's face it. I'm going to say this right now, Drew. It is inevitable. You might want to wake up for this, Drew. It is inevitable that Emiliano Vargas and Ryan Garcia are going to be put into a position where the fans are going to want to see them fight. Now, Ryan Garcia is finally the WBC welterweight champion, and Emiliano is working himself into contender status. But just the same way that almost, 26 years ago, people were talking about, about his dad, Fernando Vargas, and Oscar De La Hoya, how Mexican fans were like to see the two top, guys meet and fight and put on a hell of a pay-per-view. I just think it's inevitable if things, fate, destiny, go according to plan, God's plan. I think that Emiliano Vargas and Ryan Garcia are going to meet themselves in the ring. Not to mention, Ryan Garcia's brother got beat up by Amado Vargas. So there's a little bit of family rivalry there. There's a lot of storylines to sell this fight, and mark my words, I think this fight is inevitable at some point in the next 2 years, probably. If you let it go farther than 2 years, 2 or 3 years, you've over marinated the thought. That would put Emiliano about 24 years old, Ryan Garcia in his later 20s. So I mean, you want to see these guys fight in their peak, but that's just my opinion. So, Drew, you heard about Mayweather versus Mayweather versus Pacquiao?
Yep.
Rolando Romero, if you guys are following Raleigh, it is very likely that he is going to be fighting Devin Haney. Contracts have been sent both ways. I expect to hear something about potentially May 30th, Raleigh Romero versus Devin Haney. Of course, it's in negotiation. But Manny Pacquiao wanted a crack at his title, Raleigh Romero's title. I didn't want to fight Pacquiao out of respect for the legend, nor would I have got my credit, but he kept calling me out, then waste my time because he's so broke he wouldn't stop asking for more money. Well, Raleigh, Pacquiao's going to get a lot of money because not only is he going to be fighting an exhibition at the Thomas & Mack Center, he's going to return to the ring against Floyd Mayweather, Mexican Independence Day weekend at the Sphere, the first boxing event. Drew, what do you think of Mayweather and Pacquiao? Both Mayweather has an exhibition scheduled. Manny Pacquiao has an exhibition scheduled. And then I guess they're going to have a legit fight that will go on their record. Could be the first loss Floyd Mayweather's career. It's like you said, man, boxing is dead. You said boxing is dead, but they're going to try to have two guys, 49 years old, late 40s, like grudge match, like the movie Grudge Match. They're going to sell it to you at the Sphere.
That'd be like this. I'll put my head down for that one.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, we'll be doing a show tomorrow. It is pretty late. Drew's had a pretty rough few weeks here at work. Let me turn that off. This weekend, of course, on Sunday, Drew, I just wanted your opinion. Again, you put it on record. But Jai Opetaia makes his debut right here in Las Vegas. First time I wish I could go see that. But
knockout inside 7.
Knockout that quick?
Yeah, inside 7.
Yeah, let's see what happens. We'll see what happens with that IBF title, of course. Is it going to be on the line? Will the IBF allow him to retain his title and be the Zuffa champion at the same time? On the co-main event, Ricardo Salas versus Jesus Sarracho, 2 Mexican welterweights, a welterweight collision. This is one of those like pro box level fights, Friday night fights. I think it's going to be a really fun co-main leading up to it. Guys that people aren't too familiar with, obviously, but that's kind of what Zuffa's trying to do, is get really good fights made, even if you don't recognize the fighters. Also, featherweight 8-rounder Adrian Palma versus Paulo Rubio Jr., unbeaten Mexican prospect, against Rubio Jr., and a whole slew of prelims that begins Sunday, approximately at prelims start at 3 p.m. Pacific time and 6 p.m. Pacific time for Zuffa Boxing number 4. Man, is boxing really dead? Drew, are you looking forward to are you looking forward to the baseball classic, World Baseball Classic? You watch that?
A lot of players are not even participating because of the insurance. In the Latin countries, yeah. And then you got Loja Rojas from the Phillies getting busted for PEDs and suspended for 80 games.
We need to talk about that. Maybe you'll join us on our regular sports show, because we want to do other stuff, start covering the baseball classic. March Madness is around the corner in Las Vegas in just a couple of weeks. One of the busiest 2 weeks in Las Vegas is March Madness. And I think I'll head back to the casino to check it, because it's always fun at South Point, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate Mom Food sticking around for the end of this. Guys, go follow her. She's an amazing content creator. I hope I could get to her status. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't been very consistent, Drew, lately. But again, guys, if you guys want to catch our sports show tomorrow, Slugged Out Sports at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I'll make a community post to remind you guys tomorrow we'll be at the 702 Man Cave Studios. Anything else you want to add, Drew, to tonight's episode of The Shoe Shine?
And matter of fact, I haven't been around like that in a couple weeks, like almost in the last few months. And I get asked, Drew, are you gone? Or you been replaced? I'm going to tell you guys something. Drew can never be replaced. Let me tell you something. I have beef with some motherfuckers on this platform. And guess who's still here? Me. And they all going on they're off the island of relevancy. And I sit along on my fucking throne, all alone, still here, still talking shit, still spotting knowledge, keeping it 100, while they go and just become a memory that everybody forgets about them in 2 weeks.
Goodness. You know what? If you guys catch the replay and you made it this far, if you're one of the old school Shoe Shine guys, come back to the show, guys. I miss you guys in the chat, man. All those people, we used to let's have a great time again for the rest of 2026, whether boxing is dead or not. Again, we got another show tomorrow lined up, and we'll be back on the air with Drew possibly Monday or next Tuesday night. Until then, guys, stay blessed. Peace.